Hello everyone, my name is MJ Vilches and welcome to most definitely the final part of this month's hashtag TUP Art Challenge. Yeah, we're working on the September entry for the challenge, and I'm working on a scene that is probably one of the most dramatic scenes in the book. One of the dramatic scenes in the book, and yeah, also a very spoilery part. But yeah, at this point in this whole series, if you watch, from part one, you probably already know what that part is if you've read the book, and if you haven't, then you've just been spoiled a whole lot already, probably 5 times, because there have been 5 parts, and I actually did not change the title. I forgot to edit this right here. But anyways, we're just gonna finish this thing. We're gonna work on this thing, and we're gonna finish it today. And yeah, I did say in a previous part that I'm gonna do some lighting today, but we're not gonna do that because I already did it. What we're gonna do instead is to do some compositing. So yeah, yesterday I rendered each of the passes. I have separate passes for the background, the foreground, the subject, which is tick. Foreground are the rats on the front here, and the background are all the other backgrounds here, and also a bloom pass for the flashlight. So yeah, I might add more to the final thing, or maybe I'll show to you here how I do lens flares in Blender. But yeah, excuse me, a sneeze is coming. Didn't come. Okay, anyways, we're just gonna do this thing. So yeah, I did some lighting off recording, and I guess that's just what I'm gonna show to you right now. So yeah, I have a bunch of light in this scene. The first light would be this light that is lighting up. If we're gonna go to the rendered view here. So yeah, hey, Mbuddy, hello. Excuse me. Just kind of woke up. I slept late last night. But anyways, I'm just gonna keep going here. I'm gonna explain the lighting setup that I have here. So yeah, so I think all the shader has compiled. So anyways, these are the lighting setup. The first one is this one right here near the rats and tick, giving the rats a bit of a lighting there, and also it also affects tick a little bit, but it's too far to affect the others. And next is this light right here, this very bright light that serves like a light that focuses your eye towards this spot. So it's kind of like a bright light behind tick here, so that I give more focus to to tick. So this is like the final lighting. And then the next light is the one near the flashlight here to light up Gregor and the others here. And then the next is another one to light up Luxa. Next is which is this one to do the edge lighting for tick, this one as well. And there's actually 2 more lights. There's a spotlight here for this flashlight effect thing here. So something that I find with Blender is that it doesn't light up. As you can see, the light doesn't work when the camera is too close to the background here, but then when we go far away, suddenly the light here is affecting the ground here. So yeah, that's something that I don't know how to fix, so I'm not gonna try and do that. And I think that's a bug, or there's just some settings I don't know where to find yet. I'm gonna figure that out for future animations, or 2D stuff, grease pencil stuff. But anyways, hopefully the microphone's working properly here. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, anyways, that was the lighting. Let's go back to layout for now. But yeah, that was the lighting, and the final look of this whole thing, if rendered without any compositing or post-processing, it should look like this. So yeah, I pressed space already. It's lagging. Yeah, it looks like this. So there may be issues with the rendering as well. because I think there's still lots of bugs for the grease pencil. But anyways, this is like the final look for everything. And there's gonna be a bloom there. So what we're gonna do most of today is to do some compositing. So I'm just gonna save that. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm gonna do some compositing. So I'm gonna create a new file, and I'm gonna use the VFX template, so that all of the necessary necessary workspaces are already available here. And since we're gonna be doing compositing more, we're just gonna be working on the compositing workspace here. Hey there, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name. Stanu? I don't know. But yeah, welcome to the stream, and hopefully you learned something from it. Today we're gonna be compositing motion comic, and yeah, I rendered different passes for the thing that I just showed a while ago. And we're gonna save this as Take Sacrifice compositing, and we are going to, and we're not gonna use the render layer. We're gonna import, or we're gonna input an image here. I know, yeah, I think it should be image. Excuse me. And then we're gonna go to, first I'm gonna put the tick background here. So this is the background pass. Let me open up another workspace here, make it image editor, because this is going to be like our preview. So I'm just gonna F12 this, and now we can like kind of preview this. And let's set the end to 450 frames. And now let's add the rest of the sequences, the image sequences. So image again, open. Next should be the subject, which is tick. So I'm gonna open that image. I'm selecting everything and then open, and that should, Blender should automatically make that into image sequence. And I'm gonna go to color, alpha over, put this subject layer on top. So the way the nodes work is that this one is on top of the other one. If you're looking at like a layering point, so this, we want this to be the layer at the bottom, so it needs to be plugged in there, because this is the bottom image and this is the one at the top. I'm just gonna convert pre-mul that, and let's see how tick looks. So yeah, that's looking great. Let's do an occasional save just in case. So another image. Next would be the last layer, which is going to be the foreground layer. So I'm just gonna shift D this alpha over here. Once again, let's plug the one that should be on the top of everything else at the bottom. So yeah, I don't see any issues. I think it renders pretty well. Yeah, this is what I'm worried about right here. There are fills that kind of go missing as it goes. So I think that's I don't know, a Blender bug or settings I did not set well. But hopefully it won't be too, you won't notice it when everything's rendered. So the last pass I'm going to put here is the bloom. So let's just get all of the bloom image sequence here. I'm gonna add color, mix, and then I'm gonna put this on top and set it to add, and that should add that bloom on the flashlight, which for some reason not happening, probably because I need to do this color alpha over on this one and put that at the bottom, make this black. So our bloom is unfortunately not working. Let me just view this. Only the bloom. So apparently the bloom did not render correctly. Or probably just for pre-mull. Let me see what I can do here. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something for the bloom here, because it did not render properly. I just kind of rendered it last night and didn't check. But anyway, there should be a bloom there, which we're gonna substitute. We're gonna do something. But yeah, for this one, I think what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I think this will serve. I think this is an opportunity for me to show to you how I do the lens flare in Blender. So the way I do lens flare for Blender is I actually use something that's used on a previous version. So I'm gonna open Blender 2.79b, and I'm actually using the GL flares, and it should be in blendswap.com. Blend swap. So just go to blendswap.com. I think I'm already logged in. Yes, or not. Let me just log in on the other screen here. So, kind of don't remember my password for this. I haven't been using BlendSwap for a long time. Probably this one. So yeah, okay, we're good there. So if you want any free blends, just go to blendswap.com. I have my own blends here that I given away for free. These are older versions of the model. I'm gonna be uploading an updated version soon, but yeah, I've given away a bunch of models ever since I've been modeling. But anyways, that's not why we're here. I'm just gonna show you. I'm gonna search for geo flares here. Let's see if it's still here. Flares. Lens. I don't think that it's still in BlendSwap. Oh wait, I think I found it. Yeah, it's right here. Geo flares. So I'm using this. It's a Blender 2.79. It's only you can only view it in Blender 2.79. Yeah, it's basically using the OpenGL viewport render, and I'm gonna open that up in Blender 2.79 right now. And I'm going to add. I'm gonna go to templates, Blender. Probably not here. Probably in documents. No, it's not here. I think it's in Blender. Just your VFX, lens flare. Yeah. Okay, so it's this one. So I'm just gonna Control Shift S this. I'm gonna navigate to the Tick Sacrifice folder and save it here. Tick Sacrifice. So this will act as like a bloom and also lens flare effect. And that's gonna add a lot to our scene, I think. So I'm just gonna save it like that, and I'm gonna apply the background here. I'm gonna apply our background pass as a display here. So let me just, should be image, do the most projects, the underline project, render, raw, art, tick, PNG, BG. I'm gonna use the BG because that's where, yeah, that's where we can see Gregor, and I need to like manually track this part right here. So we're gonna do that using the motion tracking here in Blender 2.79b. So need to make sure that I'm in Saint Elmo here, and then I'm gonna open that again, and I'm gonna start tracking. So let's set this to 450 because that's our whole animation is about 450 frames. And I'm just gonna start tracking the flashlight here. So I'm probably gonna track this corner right here. And just, you know, do some tracking. Probably a very janky tracking too. So I'm just gonna move this manually here. So I'm just gonna, yeah, that should, and that's a huge jump right here. I might have to Control Z that. So I'm just gonna manually track right at about the beginning here. Until it's not visible. So that it's just slowly, and there's the, do that, and then let's track forwards. So that this might take a while, or not. Okay, so yeah, it goes up this point right here. We don't want that. So I'm gonna go select this again, start tracking again. Let me track that backwards one by one. So I just want to track this properly here. So I think at this point we're back on track. So let's go forwards again. So track right there, and there might be a point where that's gonna, yep. Okay, I'm ending up pressing a bunch of buttons again here. So this should be easily tracked because this is a 2D drawing and there's really no changes to it. Never mind. I'm just gonna animate the scale manually for the lens flare. But yeah, I just needed to like perfectly copy the location of the flashlight here, so we're fine. Hopefully this doesn't break the stream, but yeah, we're tracking on a live stream right here. I just want to track this one spot on the flashlight so that the lens flare will follow this, and you know, it's gonna look really awesome later on when we composite them together. So yeah, almost done. See, at this point it's not really moving too much anymore. I think at this point the camera's like settling. And there's like there's lots of flickering in the grease pencil here. That's gonna be obvious probably. I do hope not. I don't know if it's a Blender bug or something, but yeah. Right now I'm just gonna, and let's go back to default. Actually, no, we're gonna have to go back to motion tracking. I need to go down to solve, I think. Or was it track? I haven't been using this version of Blender, so, or you know, I haven't been tracking. I think it's in geometry, yes. jump entry and solve, and I'm gonna link empty to track, and that should add an empty in a 3D viewport that follows the track point. So I'm gonna go back to default, and yeah, it's right here, the empty. You can't see it because right now the display is only render, but yeah, there's the empty, and we're gonna be parenting this one to the empty. But first, we are going to go probably right at this point here and just align this right there. Let me reduce the opacity of the background here just so we see more. Yeah, this is the flashlight, and then now we can select this, the lens flare, select the empty track, the track, the empty that is, you know, copying the track point, and we're gonna parent it to that one, and that should follow it, as you can see. So I might have to do some manual animations here. I'm gonna manually animate the scaling and also parts of its location because it starts to drift off there. So yeah, anyways, that works nicely. I'm gonna go to should be in timeline here. It's different in Blender 2.8, so I'm not sure. Yeah, it's here. Play. It's not here. It's in. It's this one. So I'm gonna set this to location scale. We don't need rotation. I'm gonna auto key. So I'm gonna pick a spot. Maybe this one right here. So that's just like our initial spot there for the flashlight. Let's go back some, and then I'm just gonna scale it up. And then right here I'm also gonna scale it up because we're close to the flashlight here. And I'm probably gonna start scaling it down at this point because, you know, we don't want that to probably have it leak a bit. And at this point it's gonna be far away here, and then I'm gonna scale it to 0 because it's completely off. Probably scale it to 0 right here as well, so that it only starts lighting up when it starts to show up, like so. So let's preview that. Maybe not 0 here. Also not that big. So I'm just animating the lens flare here. Let's make the playback to AV sync. So that's really quick there. Okay, there we go. It's looking nice. Following the flashlight. And as it goes further, it should be smaller. But would still have lens flare. So I think I'm gonna keep making it smaller right here. And then I think at this point it should be just little by little until we reach 450, where I'm gonna make it just a bit more small. So this is gonna be on top of everything, also the tick subject, and the best thing about this lens flare is that I can quickly render it. So I'm just gonna go to only render here. I'm gonna deselect everything, so it's gonna look like this. So this is gonna be the flashlight. Next, I'm going to Control S this. I'm gonna set this to Blender render. HDTV 1080p. We're gonna render it actually while streaming because this is not, it's not too extensive. It's not too much for the computer to handle it. So I'm just gonna go to actually right here. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna save it to Bloom right here. So yeah, it should overwrite. So yeah, I'm just gonna render this as an viewport render. So things should be fine here. I'm gonna Control S, render. I'm gonna OpenGL render animation, and that should quickly render without even affecting our live stream here. So I'm just gonna wait for a bit because this is a very quick render. And when we open, and since I overwrote the Bloom image sequence, it will automatically be added to our compositing later when I switch to the previous projects. Yeah, that's the stream might suffer. The stream might suffer. I'm going to have to close this. Close the other Blender. Because I'm overriding files that is open to the other Blender. I'm not sure how will that affect the stream. So Mbuddy, if you're there, can you confirm that the stream is still fine? I don't think it is. I think it's a bit broken right now. I'm probably stuttering. Okay, we're done with the rendering. Hopefully stuff are still good. Hopefully it's not lagging like crazy right now. But anyway, we're done rendering our lens flare. I'm gonna go back to the Blender 2.90 project file here, the compositing file that we just did a while ago. And now we should have a really good bloom or lens flare effect. So let me just transfer Blender on the other side here. I'm gonna go to compositing. And yeah, hopefully the stream's fine now. Yeah, anyways, if I hit F12 now, it should add, yes, there, our lens flare. So the overriding is overriding worked. One thing I do want to change is to make this yellowish. So I'll do that by going to the bloom here. Actually, to make this even cleaner, I'm gonna group stuff. So I'm gonna group this alpha over. I'm actually gonna. Yeah, I think I'm gonna group. I'm not gonna group this. I'm gonna group this one and this one. Control G that, and call this subject. So this is the background. This is the subject layer. I'm gonna group this one and this one for the foreground layer. Control. So FG, and then this one, and this one. Control G, and this is gonna be the bloom layer. So set that to bloom. I'm gonna tab here to enter that group, and then I'm gonna Shift A. I'm gonna go to color, RGB curves, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna bump up the red of this and the green. That should, and then bring down the blue to make it yellow. And that should blend to our scene here nicely already. So let's just try and brush through the timeline here, see if it's too bright. I think it is too bright at this right now, so I might have to go bring it down a bit here in the RGB curves, just so we see more tick, and then go back a little bit. See, right now it's so bright that we don't even see the flashlight right here. I'm gonna play around with add, yeah, maybe about 0.7. So that's Gregor's flashlight. Hopefully it's still clear. And that shouldn't be too much. Just to add like a bit of an accent on the scene there. So now we have that. Next thing I'm gonna do after the bloom is to do some color grading. So let's do that. I'm gonna use filmic medium high contrast, and I'm gonna use curves here to do some color grading. Probably gonna bump that up, bring this down here, and then I'm going to let's see what we can do here. So this is the important part. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm also gonna be adding a vignette later. For now, let's do some color stuff first. I'm gonna reduce red, probably bump up the blue. Like so. Maybe bring down the blue and the green. So this part is something that I cannot do properly every time I stream. So there will be a the final one will look differently, but this is how I'm gonna do it anyway. In color, giving the whole thing a good color. I could go do the reverse thing. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna drag red towards that. I'm gonna drag blue right here and drag green. That is to achieve like a more purplish tone to it, which I do not want. I want it to be more like orange. So the whole animation thing, I wanna look more orange, but not too orange. So anyway, I'm gonna settle for that with that for now, and we're gonna do more stuff here. So another thing I want to add is glare effect. I'm gonna set this to fog glow. And that should add like more bloom here. I'm gonna set the threshold to 0.5. Probably lower, 0.1. And then the other thing I like is adding the lens distortion. And it's gonna be projector 0.05. 0.05. Let's see how that looks for now. Maybe 0.1, just so we see how much it affects. So yeah, Mbuddy, that's really how I wanted to like color the Underland Chronicles artworks, because of the lighting and the torch and the fire. Since that's mostly where the light is coming from, that's kind of that's the kind of the mindset on that one. Since most of the light is coming from torches and fire and flashlight, that's probably yellow in color. It's gonna be the whole lighting would lean more into orange or red or yellow, and that would depend on like the feel that I want to achieve. So, if it's yellow, it's calm. If it's orange, it's action. If it's red, it's something tragic, probably something like that. And then if it's very sad, then in the whole orange thing, I'm gonna drop the whole orange thing. It's probably gonna lean more into like a bluish tint if there's a sad thing happening. But yeah, that's just kind of color grade. One of the like the things you do if you want to color grade your work. So I'm just gonna experiment on a lot of on the settings here because I don't see that much change. Set both of this. Oh no. Okay, so 1 is too much. As you can see, it's like a 3D thingy now. I'm gonna try 0.5. 0.5 is probably still too much. 0.25. Probably instead of projector, I'm gonna use just something on around the edge. Something like that, but not too distorted. Probably 0.005. And hopefully the stream's still fine. So yeah, that's too much. Let's reduce the dispersion. See, I like the effect of the edges here, and then kind of adds more focus to the tick. But I think the dispersion is too much. I'm gonna 0.05 this. So now we're good with this frame. I'm gonna try and scrub through all the other frames here. I think we have too much bloom. I'm gonna have to 0.25. So there we go. Like that. And yeah, like I said, I'm probably gonna be editing more the color grading of this. I'm not quite satisfied with the color grading yet. So I guess the last thing we're gonna do is gonna go to image, input. I'm gonna go open, go to templates. I'm just gonna grab one of my vignettes prepared here. So it should be here. Just gonna get one of my vignettes here. Probably it's right here. No, I need something more at the center. Vignette. I'm not sure where I saved it. Probably here. I'm gonna try using this one. So I'm just gonna put that before all the filters on top of everything else. Color. Mix. Just gonna put that there. On top. Check the alpha here so it takes into account the alpha. There we go. And I'm gonna set it to, I'm gonna try overlay. Probably just multiply will do. Multiply. And then I'm gonna reduce the I'm gonna reduce the effect. So yeah, there. I think that's good. The vignettes. Vignette's nice. So I'm just gonna see what else we can do here. For the most part, I'm actually done, and except for like tweaking more the color grading of this. I could add something like I might have to. Nah, I think this is really good. I don't want to add too much to it, except maybe an unsharp mask, but Blender doesn't really have an unsharp mask effect here. So I think, let me see. So we have filter here. I think I need to blur the background right here, as the focus goes more towards tick. But I also think this is already enough. Let's see then. See, I think we're good. I think I'm gonna end the stream here. Let's see. What else can I do? Maybe I can play around with the color grading more just to get that. So, following the thing that I said earlier, which you know, when it's action pack, it's orange or red, kind of leaning into more of that color. So I'm gonna try this one right here. No, not yellow, maybe a bit of blue, because this is kind of sad. So I think the color here is looking great. Especially when it reaches like... Okay, let's just... I think the glare is too much. Let me just do something about that. I'm gonna bring that back to 0.5. Yeah, I think 0.5 works here. And then, yeah, I think the color grading, I think I like it. I still need to like look at it later on though before rendering. But for now, yes. At this point, this is done. Except for some other tweaks that I want to do, like the unsharp mask. But yeah, as you can see, our artwork is kind of finished. So we have tick here, the roaches. I'm going to try an experiment for the background here. I want to try something. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna shift the background here. I'm gonna go add color mix. And I put this on top of the background right here. And I'm going to add a sunbeams filter. Increase the length by about 0.5, and that should like do that ray thing. You'll see soon once it's done compositing. So yeah, something like this. Might have to bring it down on the y-axis. I really wish there's a way to like link sunbeams here to an empty. But right now there's really no way of doing that. Let me just see what I can do here. 0.5 ray length is probably too much. I'm gonna 0.5 that again so that it's like at the center. I'm gonna try ray length of 0.1. And yeah, I think I'm gonna bring this up some. So that the center of the ray is right on tick here. So 0.05. Let's try 0.05. And I'm going to try to overlay. I'm gonna try a different color modes here. No, overlay is not good. Mix might be enough. And at this point, the compositing is becoming too much for the laptop. So I'm going to set the factor to 0.2. Let's see. Let's add more. So the stream might be lagging now. That's why I didn't want to, do this stuff here, because this sunbeams is kind of like too much for the laptop. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna add the ray length. It's not really adding anything here anyway. So I'm just gonna cancel all of that, and I'm gonna call this done. So we have our artwork here, just, you know, a simple compositing, nothing too complicated. I added a glare node and a lens distortion, also did the vignette, and then some color grading using the color management here. So if I, you know, it's already you're already seeing the rendered frame here. If I render that again, you'll see. So yeah, this is it. This is our Tick's Sacrifice. I just need to render this, add the sound and the voices, and yeah, this is gonna looks awesome. I'm gonna be uploading this on my main channel. And yeah, we've done something all in Blender, even using the old Blender version, and we managed to do something like this. So this is a comic cinematic. It's animated. First we are showing the background right there, and then the camera moves to reveal the subject, which is Tick, and also the title, which is, you know, the title is the action that's being that's happening here, which is Tick's Ultimate Sacrifice. A cockroach who's known to run or hide is actually turning around, flying, facing the enemies, which resulted to her, you know what a sacrifice means. But yeah, we've managed to do this from 0 up to this point, where it's looking awesome, I think. And yeah, you're gonna be seeing this soon in the main channel. Just, you know, search for Doodle Productions on YouTube. And yeah, there's really nothing much I want to add right now. It's nothing that's coming to mind. Probably later something will come to mind, but right now I think we're done. I'm not gonna be adding more to it because that would just make it more complicated, and it's, you know, it's time to move on to other artworks. But anyways, yeah, that's it. Thanks to everyone who watched this thing. Thanks to Mbuddy, who watched the whole thing till the end, also even given me a super chat on one of the parts of this series. So yeah, that's the very first super chat was given by Mbuddy on part 4, I think, of this art stream series. So yeah, thank you so much to Mbuddy for that. And yeah, I also want to thank my KoFi givers: Magnolia Weathershield, Erick Madrigal, Elizabeth Munie, Tristan Wintle, GulliermoGage, and of course Mbuddy for all of the support they've given, no matter how big or small that is. Of course, the names that are golden, they're the ones who's given a lot, so they need to have a golden name right there, and a bunch more, because there's things that I want to do for my KoFi givers, especially the ones who's given a lot, and which will be shown in one of the episodes of Journey to Awesomeness on the main channel, Doodle Notes Productions. So yeah, if you wanna, watch all that, just go to my main channel. And also, if you want to support me, my KoFi givers, just go to ko-fi.com/doodlenotesproductions. If you want me to, keep going with this stuff, maybe do other artworks from a different book or something, I'm also, planning to do that someday. But for now, this is it. And yeah, we've managed to do a nice motion comic that will be shown later. And yeah, everybody, see you on the next TUP art challenge. And yeah, nothing more to say here. My name is MJ Vilches, and yeah, that's it. I just need to record the voices and do the sound, and yeah, let's finish that artwork up. But yeah, this is the last part. Thank you. Let's just, goodbye.